So here we are on Wednesday morning at approximate almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Believe it or not, I actually like working this late. I know, I'm really a freak, but I don't know, I'm just really creative at this time. So obviously that's a great time to make video too. I think my best videos are when I'm a little loopy because it's early in the morning or late at night, depending on your definition. Oh, this is gonna be good already, I can tell. Alright, that's enough of me. Oh, don't mind, is it right here? Don't mind this. This is, we're not gonna talk about that. 30 years old and I got pimples. Absolutely ridiculous. Ooh, that's a little bright. So, let's go by the punching bag. Yeah. So, this is the knife I made for partner Mark. Because he's a dirty pirate hooker. No, he's not a dirty pirate. God damn it. Did I mention I was getting a little loopy? Because I've reshot this video a couple of times because I get rambling on and like the camera shuts off and I'm still talking. I love that. It's brilliant. So I'm going to try and move faster. Move faster. So that's plastic and it's obviously it's titanium. This knife doesn't have some of my normal stuff like a lock bar stabilizer or a steel insert. Mark doesn't deserve that yet. No. Shit. The weakest pocket clip I've ever made, because he whines about how tight pocket clips are. Seriously, I don't even know. So I gave him the weakest pocket clip he possibly could. It's basically just a hanger. I mean, it has no retention whatsoever. I would never do that for one of you people. It's just for Mark, because I want to hear him complain about it. This is G10. It just came like that. I don't know. No, obviously I carved the shit out of it. It's a flipper. Why not? Elmax. Interesting little Warren clef. This entire knife is made out of scrap material. Yeah. That's why the flipper's so small. I would have liked it to be a little bigger, so you can get a little bit more, easy. A little bit more flip on. It's actually still really fast for having such a tiny flipper. I don't know, some people like little flippers. I don't, if you've noticed. My knives usually have big out there ostentatious flippers. Because the whole reason I put flippers on knives, besides being a flipper, is I really like the index finger guard. I've always liked that. I fell in love with the M21 or the M16 or the M series by Kit Carson that Columbia River Knife and Tool did and does. One of my favorite knives of all time. And I always loved that it had guards on it. That was always magical for me, because made it a great knife to use like at work and shit when you get all grimy and nasty. You aren't gonna slip onto the blade. Because I had a Cold Steel Recon 1 that was my other favorite blade before I started making knives. Well, before I started making folders, to be specific. And yeah, I actually had a little incident with it. I got a new drill press. I've been messing around with it, getting everything trued out on it. It's always fun. Not. No, but you gotta do it. There's a kitchen knife I'm working on. It's almost ready to go back in for temper. Yeah, we're walking. We're meandering about. The Black Devil is getting ready to be re-cerakoted. Basically, as soon as I get this damn video shot, I'm gonna do that. We got here on the friggin' workbench, the very clean workbench. Look at that, it's so completely disorganized, and I'm okay with that. I can work with that. Partner Mark, on the other hand, he cannot work with it. This workbench kills him. He walks in here every day and is like, "Holy fuck, I don't know how you find anything in here." And I'm like, "Well, Mark, it's because I'm a genius." And I sit there and I have memorized where everything is on that thing just instantly by looking at it. I'm like Rain Man when it comes to standoffs. Right, he can do toothpicks. If you don't know who Rain Man is, you gotta watch the movie Rain Man, obviously. But if you do, you remember the scene where the toothpicks and yeah, okay. Anyway, so that's what I'm like with standoffs and spacers and stuff like that. But I got some dashies that I'm doing here. Those are gonna go to Don the dealer. He's always asking me to make him dashies. These are Elmax. I got some other stuff that I'm doing for him. An SM100 folder for him. Yeah. It's another SM100 folder. Not for him, for someone else. That's another SM100 folder. Jeez. Making SM100 everything now. And look, there's an SM100 Dashi over here that I'm going to heat treat when I heat treat the rest of those blades. It's crazy. It's just everywhere. I don't know if I'm going to send this to Dawn the Dealer. I might keep this and put the stuff for sale on my website. Because I never have anything up for sale there, and I always want to have some stuff up for sale so people like go to the available page and it's not like, I have nothing. You know, there's something there at least. It's one of my goals for 2013 is to always have something on that damn page. It's not going so well so far, if you've noticed. Yeah. This is actually not my material. There's a guy. Really, Elliot? A guy? No way. Are you sure it wasn't a monkey? Oh, shit. So, there's a guy, and he made a couple of knives out of SM100 for his buddies that he graduated from officer candidate school with. And then they transferred him from the base that he was at, and the new base that he went to, they didn't have a machine shop where he could go make himself a knife. So he sent me his material and said, hey, bro, can you make me a knife? And I said, obviously, yeah. I'm an SM100 fool. So it's only been like a year that's been sitting here, not being turned into a knife. But he said, take my time. That's something you should never, ever say to a knife maker. Here, look at me. Don't ever tell a knife maker, take your time. Because our time scale is way longer than you can possibly imagine. I'm just saying. Ridiculously longer. Speaking of knife makers, I got to talk to Gavco today. We were like a couple of hens, and we chatted for like 3 hours. I don't know, long enough to drain the entire battery on my phone. And then I had to actually call him back from my computer, which was unique and special in every single way. And he actually killed his phone and his Bluetooth. It was great. You know, Gavco is exactly the way he is on video. He's the same exact person. So he's a very cool guy. I like him a lot. One of these damn days, we're gonna all have to get together. Me, Tough Thumbs, Gavco. I want to meet Vance. Vance seems like a crazy guy. I like Vance. Be Done, Supervillain, The Bob. I don't know, all these YouTube guys that you see. I think it'd be crazy to get together. I think it'd be crazy to do specifically a YouTube knife maker knife show. So if there's anybody out there who's like a promoter or organizer of things like that, and you can take that idea and run with it, it's yours for free. Because Lord knows I ain't gonna do that. I don't have time for that kind of shit. Plus, organizing big events is a real pain in the ass. I've had to do it before. No, that is not fun. I mean, and I know people that do that for a living. Goo. Moving on, talking with Gavco, and so we were specifically discussing SM100 because if you didn't know, if you haven't watched, you should go check it out. He made a knife at the behest of Cliff Stamp, and Cliff Stamp actually provided the material for him to do a knife and then test the hell out of it. And he did some very interesting things that I would never do. Because they are crazy and they are pushing the limits of not only of any material but of SM100 as well. So he originally ground it to basically what he would normally grind a knife to, edge thinness wise, and I tested it, and it obviously passed all of his tests with flying colors and was actually very enjoyable. He said he really liked it. And then Cliff Stamp was like, no bro, grind it thinner. Cool, Cliff Stamp doesn't say bro, but he was like, grind it thinner in his Cliff Stamp voice. And so he did, and he took it down to somewhere between 2 and 5 thousandths of an inch, which is ridiculously thin. So if I take, for instance, this razor blade and I caliper this edge, that's going to be really close to what this razor blade is. In fact, it's probably almost exactly what this razor blade is. Oh no, you want to do it real fast? Here, let me put you down. I need 2 hands for this. So you can stare at the stuff that's on there. Get that close-up view of some pliers. This is good video, I can tell. Alright, so behind my bevel on the thing. Yeah, so it's actually 2,000. No, it's 200. Oh shit. I don't know how he got that thin. So I'm looking at the edge. I'll just throw that down right there. So you're not gonna be able to see this, it's gonna be blurry. But I'm calipering right here at the edge, and I'm getting 8 thousandths of an inch. Yeah, because I'm still at 100th. Yeah, 8,000th of an inch, which is ridiculously tiny. 7,006, so I'm right there at the teeny tiniest little edge of that. You can't even see that in the camera, but I mean, so that's 6,000ths of an inch. It's absurdly thin, and that's why you can take a razor blade and literally bend the blade out with your fingers if you're crazy enough to do that. But that's how thin he took the edge of an SM100 knife, and not a tiny little knife, like an actual, user knife. And he did a whole bunch of cut tests with it, and it did well on the cut test. And then he started chopping at stuff with it. And you don't chop with a razor blade, but he was chopping with an SM100 knife, and eventually did manage to put a nick in it. He chipped a little section out, trying to chop through copper wire of all things. So it survived wood all right, but the copper wire did it in. And so, if you're a knife maker, that blows your mind that he was able to have that thin of an edge and do that kind of stuff with it. It blew my mind. I mean, I knew that SM100 was strangely good at weird things like that, at being really thin and not breaking and stuff like that under what we might call hard use, not like insane use. But to know that it was that thin and he was able to do that much stuff with it, and then it finally gave way when it was cutting through another metal. Yeah, that's impressive to me, and it should be to anybody else who knows continuum mechanics and things like that. It's impressive, or just regular mechanics, not even continuum. Some people know what I'm talking about. Some people are like, what? Continuum mechanics? Solid state mechanics? What are you talking about, Elliot? Science words and stuff like that. But yeah. So I've lost my train of thought completely. That's radical. So let's see, we got 12 minutes, which means if I turn this camera around and ramble into it for another 5 minutes, it'll run me out of video, and then I won't know where it ended. It'll be great fun. I do it all the time. I've done it 3 times already tonight. Super, yay. I wonder if I can get this thought out. Something cool is on the horizon. I've been asked to be part of a charity knife thing to benefit St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and what we're doing is, and I say we, because there's a turd in my pocket. No, Summit Materials has asked a bunch of different makers, way bigger name makers than me. For instance, Dwayne Dreyer, Mick Strider, Les George, John Graham, Jerry McInnes, and me. I want to say there's somebody else. I always forget it. Oh well. I'll memorize it. I'll post it somewhere else. I'm sure it'll be posted on Summit's website eventually, and probably after Blade, when people have calmed down. And what we're doing is Summit's going to send us a piece of material, a piece of SM100, and then we get to do whatever the hell we want. Make crazy, ridiculous knives, and then they're going to be sold as a set on eBay as an auction, and all the proceeds, all of them, benefit St. Jude's. So Summit's donating the material. I think Blade Magazine is going to be involved in it as well. I think to get the word out a little more. And then obviously I know that the other knife makers and me, we're gonna talk about it on our YouTube channels and probably on forums and stuff like that, and say, hey, come check it out. And I'm sure guys are gonna show what they're working on for it, and it's gonna be crazy, because it's gonna be ridiculously expensive. But I mean, never again will you see that many names of that caliber. I'm excluding myself from that. That many names of that caliber, in the industry, making knives out of a particular material for one particular cause. It's gonna be epic, and I get to be a part of it. That's gonna be sickness. I'm very proud to have my name in there. I think that's it. I think we've done it. Have I done it and not run the camera out? Oh my god, it's a miracle. All right, I'm not gonna tempt fate here. So see you later, YouTube. Oh, and who was I gonna say something to? No, I wasn't gonna say anybody else. I'm gonna go drink more caffeine. Bye.